This is Harry Hog Football, the original Redskins Fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the debacle of the free agency so far, signing of Carson Commander Wentz, the cuts, and much more live with Aaron and John. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, John?
What's up?
Excellent.
Welcome, everybody, to Harry Hog Football, episode numero 547.
That number was good recently with Chris Cooley.
Oh, yeah, it was. Chris Cooley plus 500. Episodes. And Wentz. That was a slip. I didn't even mean to say that. In Wentz, we talk about the Wentz trade. Dare we Wentz at Wentz?
Oh, man. Yeah, we got to talk about that. We got free agency. We're in the thick of it. Some surprising releases.
I wasn't surprised.
Iodinus. Iodinus I was surprised by. They said...
I wasn't.
Well, we'll get into that a little bit.
So was his agent.
Flowers. Ionize is, we'll be talking about his agent as well. And McKissick did a U-turn, did a complete 360 on the situation.
That McKissick thing upset me. So that brought a little bit of joy into my life today when I heard it. I thought it was fake news when the people in the Discord room were all like, McKissick's coming back. He totally dissed the Bills. I'm like, seriously?
How about that?
Seriously?
How about that?
It was like I was saying to you the other day, dude. I was like, dude, this Wentz thing, we can untrade for him because it's not done yet. And then see with the McKissick thing, well, he was a free agent. So I guess we still could have untraded for him because nothing was official until after, 4 p.m. today? Is that right?
Yeah, 4 p.m. today. So 3 hours and 3 minutes into the frenetic free agency market.
Just the two of us. You and I. All right, let's talk about the Carson Wentz trade. In case you didn't hear about this, I was kind of, how do I say, surprised at this trade. I wasn't expecting us to go for Carson Wentz.
You were kind of pissed.
I wasn't upset about the picks. If you didn't hear, we traded 2 third-round picks and then swapped second-round. Well, third-round pick this year and next year, and then swapped second-round picks this year. But I think our third-round pick next year can convert to a second if he plays over 70% of the snaps. Is that correct?
And they also gave us a 7th-round pick as well.
Ooh, and we got a 7th.
Yeah, right. 7th.
We do pretty well.
Mr. Irrelevant. We
do pretty well on using our 7th round picks. I mean, we do as well with our 7th round picks as we do our second, if not better. I mean, yeah. We got Patterson, or was he undrafted?
He was undrafted. He was our only undrafted free agent last year. The only one that we signed.
We got tracked.
We're like after the draft kind of thing. Like the only one.
Dude, are you drinking a caffeine-free Diet Coke?
No, I am drinking
a ginger beer.
A Gosling's ginger beer.
Straight up. Man, that's strong, dude.
It's not as strong. We've been
it's got a bite.
Working on pickling some ginger.
Ooh.
Recently, so kind of get a taste for it.
Did I ever tell you my ginger soup story?
Ginger soup?
Dude, this podcast is not rated high enough for that ginger soup story. I'll tell you later. Off camera. I'll tell you off camera. I think we're streaming live on YouTube right now. I'm not 100% sure because after we take a break, like everything breaks down and we have to make sure.
No lie, man.
It's all working.
You were not lying about that.
I see that 3-Pete is in the live podcast room on Discord.
We are on YouTube.
Oh, we are.
Just fine, mate.
Anyway, cool. So we're on YouTube. All right, let's get back to the Carson Wentz thing. So I was surprised by the trade, and I was more angry at the money and the cap space that he was taking up. Instantly took all of our cap. We had what, 35 million, I believe, and he's costing 28 million against the cap.
20 million. I think it's 28.3 million.
And I was like, what? Like, I could get the third round picks fine for a dude that could be good if he wasn't injured all the time, which we'll get to.
Right.
But the cap space, we instantly went from... Yeah. We instantly went from 35 or so million to less than 6. Instantly. But...
Yeah, I think it was less than 6, yeah. Like 5 point something.
So we knew we were going to cut people, so I immediately went over to our friends at overthecap.com and looked at our cap space situation. And I did this while I was on the phone with you. And we noticed that 3 players stood out boldly of taking other cap space besides Carson Wentz. And those players were Eric Flowers, who was like about 10 million, I want to say.
$10 million contract.
Landon Collins, who was like 16 million. And I want to say Ioannidis.
I think it was more than that.
Was it? And Ioannidis was about the same. 9-10 million. Somewhere in there. So of those dudes, I expected them to restructure something with Eric Flowers. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'm hoping maybe we can get him back because he's been nothing but good for us.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but he just meshes with the Commanders.
Yeah,
you know, nobody else, because boy, he sucked in New York. Oh man, he was terrible.
And the Dolphins gave him that huge contract.
We talk about One Job Moses.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh yeah. By the way, One Job I think signed with the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, he did.
Did.
I hear my girls like screaming and giggling. Hopefully they don't come flying in here. So, CJack 17, this is one thing I didn't quite understand about the June 1st Collins release on June 1st. So that gives us more cap money back because they waited until today? Post June 1st? I don't understand that stuff.
Maybe you're allowed to declare 2 free agent or 2 cuts, not free agents, 2 cuts now that would be designated post June 1st. What does
that mean?
He's taken up one of them.
Does that mean he can't join another team until June 1st? Or they just say it's as if you were cutting him on June 1st? So he's less against the cap.
I don't believe you're officially allowed to get with that new team or stay with your old team or whatever it is, unless you sign a contract for that. I don't think that you are. Excuse me. Ginger beer.
Okay. Anyway, so what all this boils down to with the cuts from Collins, Flowers, and Ioannidis is, according to overthecap.com, we now have, even with Carson Wentz considered in here, we now have almost 26 million in cap space to sign some people.
Sign a middle linebacker, number 1 wide receiver, Julio Jones, just got cut by the Titans. He gets hurt a lot, but
straight to Julio. How much does he have? Dude, how much does he have left in the tank? Because he's getting kind of up there, isn't he?
Yeah. He's one of those hamstring kind of guys, man. He always pulls those. And he always comes back early, I guess.
Oh yeah, so there's a bunch of free agents hitting the market today.
Right.
So it'll be interesting over the next few days of what we do with this 26 million in cap space. So I think, what does it take, about 5 or 6 million to sign your rookies, whoever we get?
Something like that. I can't remember.
So we got about 20 million to work.
Somewhere around there.
20 million to work with then here, dudes. Right. So we got rid of Ioannidis. Tim Settle went to the Bills.
Buffalo.
Yeah. Am I the only one that kind of wanted to keep Tim Settle and look to trade Daron Payne?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think he's got a chance to start in Buffalo, and really, that's kind of the reason I thought J.D. McKissic was going up there as well. Was, why work for a team that's owned by Dan Snyder when you can go up and work for a Super Bowl contender? But that wasn't the case for him. For J.D. McKissic, he actually decided to come back here.
Yeah, and it just shows how inept our front office is. Did they not talk to these dudes and be like, hey, dude, we were going to sign you. Well, when were you going to tell me? Like,
yeah, really.
And the whole thing with Ioannidis, like they told him that he was in their plans and then they just blindsided him with a cut. For a dude that's been with you for 6 years, you should be like, hey, look, dude, your cap's money's too much. We're probably going to have to let you go. And that kind of stuff is why players don't want to come here. Dan Snyder. I mean, it doesn't help.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ioannidis, they were trying to trade him over the last week, according to sources, as it was. So it's not like he didn't know what was going on. He had to have gotten his agent had to know that, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't hear him like talking about that. You got to kind of, if that's happening like right before you're going into free agency, you might think, oh wow, they may cut me and save some money.
You would think.
He's been like a fan favorite too, man, and he's produced really well. He got hurt last year. Oh, he got hurt the year before.
I mean, it's kind of smart though. Think about it though. Think of all the money we had tied up on that interior defensive line that we could have had at other places. With Ioannidis at $10 million, I don't know how much Tim Settle. Well, we were going to have to re-sign him, right? So he got a pretty good amount of money.
Yeah. I mean, it was a second contract. He was good while he was here, but he was a backup.
Yeah. So this
is a prove it time for him.
Yeah, we couldn't re-sign him with the dudes we have in front of him. Ioannidis. Yeah. I mean, Eric Flowers, though. I mean, we're gonna need another lineman here. Brandon Scherf.
Both our guards.
We didn't even mention Scherf because we already everyone pretty much assumed he was gone. So we've lost both guards.
Scherf is like surfing down the East Coast on a wave of money, going all the way to Jacksonville, Florida, on a wave of money because he's getting so much money from them. It's unbelievable.
Didn't he pretty much get the same from us the last 2 years that he's getting from them on his next contract? I think he did, like $16 million a year or something.
It's somewhere right around that.
So that dude's raking it in. He's going to retire.
We could have re-signed him for a third franchise tag if we wanted to, but you have to. Then you take the top five?
Yeah,
people that are paid at that position, and for that you take the average of that plus 144%. I think it is.
Yeah, it's I don't know, something that I don't need to spend my mind time on.
Yeah, the kind of stuff, like the older I get, that kind of stuff just makes my mind go to mush.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like I'm, it's bad. Ugh.
But anyway, so the offensive line now is looking shakier than it was. The defense, of course, doesn't have much depth.
But I mean, there's a bunch of guards out there, man.
Yeah. Well,
I don't worried about that too much, and we might get Eric Flowers back for $5 million a year. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get Eric Flowers back, but all through the first 2 days of tampering period or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing?
Agent was doing. Well, the whole tampering time.
It was like we weren't doing anything.
We just found out during the whole tampering time it doesn't matter because you can do a 180 or a 360 like J.D. McKissic did and come back here after he was signed, sealed, and delivered, going to Buffalo, and then he was like, "Oh, what? Oh, okay, I'll stay here instead for the same contract."
I'm very
basically he was like a restricted free agent.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that, dude, because Wentz is going to need all the help he can get. I was reading a little bit about him, how it says that it doesn't bode well for us extending Terry because Carson Wentz spreads the ball around so much. But I don't think Terry seems like the kind of player that's
Carson Wentz,
all diva.
And I mean, he doesn't check down too much. That's probably one of his weaknesses, actually, is not checking the ball down. Like, he holds on to the ball too long.
Oh, yeah?
So
we need to get Terry signed.
That's our number one priority right now.
We got.
For all you Troy Apke fans out there, he got re-signed for a year, and I'm very happy for you because I'm glad someone's happy that we re-signed Apke. But the rest of us want Terry McLaurin to be the number one priority right now. He needs to be signed now.
Dude, Trey, for a day and a half, the biggest news was that we signed Troy Apke and Norv Jr., who we almost forgot to mention.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Oh, you know what that was? Somebody was sniffing around Norv Jr.'s office from another team, and so they were like, well, let's sign him to an extension to keep him here. Because you know what we need? More of the mediocre Turner family nepotism in Ashburn. Good Lord.
So Norv Jr. is extended, and
his son.
And Trap re-signed, coach's favorite. Oh, we also mentioned
Joey Sly did get a tender to come in, so he was a free agent, but it's like a restricted free agent, where if they get tendered and if no other team matches that offer, then they don't. Then you've got that guy.
Dude, we also tendered that other kicker, Brian, what's his name?
Blewett?
No, not Blewett.
What?
Not Blewett. The other guy. What's his name? Brian something. I don't know. Brian Davis?
Oh my goodness.
he kicked for like 3 games for us.
Johnson.
I think it is Johnson.
It is Brian Johnson.
Johnson.
I was right.
Brian Johnson is right. Ready. Dude, we also the other big news from the first few days of tampering period was that we re-signed Tyler Larson, our backup center. He's back on board.
What number does he wear, dude?
I don't remember.
Yeah, well, Bill and Ted remember it.
69, dude.
Excellent.
Bill and Ted. If you guys are really us, what number are we thinking of? Dude, what happened? All of a sudden you're all ghost-like. Did you change your lighting? It got super bright. Like,
oh,
woo.
man. Oh, yeah, it's because the screen is all white.
Oh, okay.
I'm reading through like some of the latest thing. Janoris Jenkins, veteran cornerback, got released. He's available.
We could use a cornerback. We could use a quarterback.
He's a cornerback.
Too.
No, cornerback.
I know, but we could use...
No. He's a cornerback.
We could use him. Josh said he's in the airport because I told him we're actually doing a podcast. He could still listen.
Which airport?
I don't know. Let me ask. I think he's in New York. And he keeps sending me some QR code, but I'm hesitant to,
Yeah, you and me both.
Dude, I could hold this QR code up on the podcast, and maybe someone, I don't know if it's high enough resolution for someone to like scan. Who knows what it is?
Dude, it could be anything.
I know. And if it's coming from Josh, it could be a picture of human excrement.
It might be not safe for work.
It might not be.
It might be Josh squeezing into a medium.
Who knows what it is? It's probably Josh like doing some kind of CrossFit workout with some caption about how.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
82.
Oh, yeah.
82 reps.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
82 reps, y'all.
82.
69 reps. Anyway, back to Terry McLaurin, dude. This should give us plenty of cap space to extend him. Not that we really need cap space to extend, but it should give us. We need to get him extend. We just need to get him done. Get him done.
Speaking of the salary cap, if we keep Carson Wentz, because we have him for 3 years, I think
we do
on his contract, and next year he doesn't count at anything towards the salary cap.
He doesn't?
No.
I don't understand how that stuff works, but he's due a lot of money next year.
Baloney degrees that know how to go through all this stuff a lot better than we do.
Yeah, he's going to cost a lot.
Footballer. Do what?
He's going to cost a lot.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how he does, because you and I were actually talking about it, because the thing we were talking about the morning that we heard about Carson Wentz, and you texted me, and I was like, no. He's always injured. Sorry, cracked my knuckle. Always injured, it seemed. And then we went and looked back. You went and looked back at his schedule, starting with his rookie year, and
no, it was
didn't
actually
seem to have that many. He didn't have that many days that or games that he missed. But it turned out there was like, what did he end up having? Like 4 different surgeries, like major, or not surgeries, but 4 major injuries, 4 different body parts.
I saw an article that said he's been injured in 6 out of his last 7 seasons. That goes back to his last year at, where did he go? North Dakota or somewhere like that?
North Dakota, Bison, North Dakota State, Northwest University, Southeast.
Something like that.
What
is this? We re-signed Sims.
Division 1 AA, FCS powerhouse.
Is this breaking news? We re-sign Sims? 3Pete is putting that up in the chat room.
Oh, yeah. I heard that we might do that.
What did we re-sign him to? The league minimum.
I think it was $3 million.
3? Dude, you know how much? Do you know how much Terry McLaurin is making this year? Less than 3.
Oh, man. Dang, are you serious? We need to re-sign him.
Yeah, he's still on his rookie deal. His base salary this year, Terry McLaurin, according to Over the Cap, is $2,790,000, and he gets a $250,000 prorated bonus. So that's $3 million that he's getting.
It's like a little token bonus that throw into everyone's rookie contract, and you get $250,000.
You know who's making more than Terry McLaurin this year? Although you may argue that he should. Tressway.
Man, well, I mean, Tressway is the perennial MVP of the last number of years for the Washington Redskins / football team / Commanders.
Yeah. Dude, there's really not that many players on the team that are getting paid more than Terry McLaurin, believe it or not, for this season.
Yeah, I mean, Carson Wentz is really eating up a humongous space. So, I don't know. We'll see.
As in, there's only 14. There's only 14 players getting paid more. I'm serious.
Yeah.
It dropped. We have 28 million for Carson Wentz, and then the next highest paid player is William Jackson III, who's counting 13.8 against the cap number. Then Curtis, I don't even play football, Samuel, 12.6 to do nothing except sit around and like mess with his hamstring or whatever it's injured on him.
Dang, man.
Then Kendall Fuller, then Chase Royer, then John Allen. Chase Royer makes more than Jonathan Allen? Oh, really?
He resigned too. He resigned.
Yeah.
Just this off year, didn't he?
Yeah. Then Chase Young. Yeah. Then Deron Payne. then Charles Leno Jr., Logan Thomas, Wes Schweitzer, Montez Sweat, Taylor Heineke, Jamin Davis, and then Tressway, and then Terry.
Man.
Yeah, he needs to be priority. I'm serious.
Yeah, and no messing around here. We got to keep him. I think a lot of it is going to be looking at what we do with the draft, like number one, or what am I saying? First round, first pick, number 11 in the draft.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, we were all saying get a quarterback, or a lot of people were. There's probably some people that weren't. I don't want to speak for every single person.
I was saying that we should not get a quarterback this year unless we get one in the second round or later. I still think that. I think we should get one in the second round or later.
I was
but not in the first round.
I would say get a veteran quarterback and then draft our top quarterback in the draft if we think he's going to be good, our scouts.
I don't think any of them are going to be good.
Okay, well, if that's the case,
it's going to be a whole bunch of like Tyrod Taylors and Dwayne Haskins,
RG4,
and like Daniel Jones.
So you think you think that we did the best we could as far as getting quarterback?
I think we did the best that we could. I think you're right. I think we did the best that we could, and it's really good that we did what we did, because like if he got released, he wasn't going to come here. We had to trade for somebody, or else they were probably going to bypass what we're doing here. And they want to go to a contender, and they want to go to someone whose owner isn't doing all the crap that Dan Snyder does all the time.
I mean, that's a super good point, dude. And when you pointed that out to me the other day after I was so angry about this cap space that Wentz was taking up, you were like, dude, no one is going to come here unless we basically trade for him and make him come here. And make him.
Yeah. We had to make him come over here. We had to be like, you're coming to Washington whether you like it or not.
Unless he pulls an Eli Manning, he's on his way to Washington. And there were pictures of him this afternoon in the Discord room wearing his Daniel Snyder Letterman jacket. Looks like it's from like 1987. Will you go to the prom with me, Carson? It's like, you want to wear my Letterman jacket?
Oh, man. What number is he going to wear? We don't even know. That's why he's wearing the jacket. He doesn't even know what number he's going to wear.
Someone said he's wearing oh my gosh, David Herzing, Von Miller to Buffalo, 6 years, $120 million.
What?
I thought Von Miller was super good, but I thought he was kind of like going downhill slightly.
Past his prime.
Yeah, past his prime.
Oh man, the second half of that contract is he's never going to get to that money.
Buffalo's going all out, dude. I mean, they even tried to get JD.
They're so close. Yeah, dude. They're so close. They've got to be like, this is our shot right here. Ugh.
Oh my gosh. But no one wants to come here. And you know what could help make people want to come here? Is if our team did things like, I don't know, the players that play well for you, like Terry McLaurin, keep them home. They did it with John Allen. They kept him home. Now get Terry and show these players like, look, if you come here and play hard, then they'll reward you. You won't have to go somewhere else to get paid. These guys
are
tight
end as well, man.
Yeah, these guys are setting up their families. I mean, they're young dudes. They're starting out families. They're setting them up in the area. Yeah. Do you think they really want to start over somewhere else, especially if they have kids? If they don't have to?
If you're living out there near Redskins Park or what Commanders headquarters or whatever they want to call that now. I wonder what
it's
it is called.
It's the command center, dude. It's the command center.
The command center.
The command center.
If you're living out there in like these like $1 million houses out on these big pieces of property out there in the country, it's nice. People like it out there. A lot of people don't like to move once they move to this area. They're just like, wow, we really like Washington D.C. It's very culture,
All right.
I don't know. A lot of people seem to really like people that go to like 3 or 4 different teams, but they still come back to Washington kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about.
So 3-Pete is saying he does not think that we did our best on quarterback in the draft. To which I say, who would you have gotten as quarterback at this point that's better than Wentz? I want to hear the people in the peanut gallery, see what they have to say. Because
real quick, I'm going to talk about. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
But back to you. You say you do not want a quarterback this year because you think they suck. I'm back to my thing where I'm like, get a quarterback in the draft every year until we have our dude, because it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot. I mean,
we had Kirk Cousins in the 4th round. Tom Brady was in the 6th round. You can get quarterbacks late. I think we should draft 1 or 2 every single year and see if they could start clicking.
Yeah.
We might get a Tom Brady. We might get someone in the 6th round who steps in.
You never know, dude.
You never know.
Terry McLaurin was a 3rd round pick that we only got because Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins, who signed a tender, I think, with Pittsburgh.
Because Dwayne Haskins was like, hey, pick this guy. He's good. He knows more about... He should just be a scout. He needs to retire and be a scout, because now we're talking about how it's imperative that we sign Terry McLaurin, who probably wouldn't even be on the team if it wasn't for Haskins.
I wonder if he gave like an in-depth analysis of him, or was it just like he's good, we need to sign him. What about his skin tangibles? Well, he catches the ball when I throw it. He's really good.
Skin tangibles.
All right, I have I just read up on skin tangibles.
That's a Larry Michaels ism. Hey, the sun's going down over here, and that was my fill light on this side. That's why it's so dark. I could turn on my other light, or I could just go dark from one side. It's the dark side.
All right. So there, with Landon Collins, there were questions about whether we would just like cut him, and we'd save $6.9 million on the cap if we had done that, just straight up cut him. The other was to designate him as a post-June 1st cut, and you saved $11.9 million on the 2022 salary cap. But the kicker of that is that he stays on the books until 6/1, and they won't see those added savings till well after the free agency and the draft and all that stuff. So
wait,
you don't have the money. So you don't get the money before free agency right now, and the draft, which is next month in April.
Or the draft, so we can't use it for our rookies, is what you're saying.
Exactly, right. So if whatever it is, somewhere around $5 million or so per year for all your rookie class, or 6 or 7 or whatever it is, like you're not going to be able to use it towards that.
But we can use it for whatever dude we're going to have to pick up when Carson Wentz gets injured in preseason.
Yeah, right. Remember, you get some surprise people that get cut after June 1st.
Yeah.
Because of this exact same thing.
Okay, 3-Pete would have taken any of the others. Dude, you would have taken Jimmy Garoppolo? I think Wentz is probably better than him.
Don't forget, Jimmy Garoppolo just had surgery on his throwing shoulder.
He's
out for like 4 months.
I thought Derek Carr was ending up staying with the Raiders. Am I wrong?
I have not heard anything about Derek Carr.
Maybe he changed his mind. Remember when I thought they were the same guy?
I was like, no, his brother's the dude that looks like he's like been run over by like a stampede herd of buffalo. I think,
the same guy. I thought they were the same guy.
That's what happened to him.
Until a month ago. So you were like, no, dude, that's not the same guy. I was like, oh, I thought he had a resurgence after he left the Texans.
No, that guy, he resurgence into the broadcast booth.
Speaking of broadcast,
that guy hit. God, he just got hit so much. Oh, yes.
This is breaking news for us. At most, we're going to have to listen to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck call our games once a season. They moved from Fox to Monday Night Football, which we're never on.
Wait, is that Monday Night Football?
Yeah, that's Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
We don't have to listen to them anymore. Because what happened was, I think who went first? Troy Aikman, and then his little buddy followed him?
I think that's what happened.
Can I go be with my buddy? And Fox let him out of his contract. They're like, due to your service of so these years, we'll let you out. Your contract.
Wow. How about that?
Anyway, okay. Back to
that's gonna be a favor. That's gonna be a favor.
Okay.
One day, and it may not. It may never be. But
dude, why didn't we just cut Curtis Samuel? Do they have faith that he's actually going to be able to play this year?
Play, yeah, right. Do we know anything about him? Is he rehabbing in the offseason? Has he hurt himself again?
Dude, watch him come back, and if he could come back and light it up, I mean,
it would be sweet.
We would be competitive.
Need a deep threat, though, dude.
We'd be competitive.
We need a deep threat.
DME Brown needs to light it up. Do you think any of that? Yeah. Do you think they say that Carson Wentz has a gun of an arm and he can throw deep. Do you think it'll benefit these dudes? Do you think it'll benefit this DME Brown who's supposed to be the speed deep threat and
dude, I am
Curtis Samuel
as big of a Heineke fan of anybody, but I know that he cannot throw the ball like Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz can just throw. He has a cannon, man. He's just like bam,
and he's huge.
He's a huge guy. So he has a cannon of an arm. He could throw the ball downfield. Basically, it's not going to flutter for 40 yards and look like a lame duck flying through the air, and you never know who's going to catch the ball.
I remember one game, his first or second year on the Eagles, where he just posterized us. He was pulling those Tony Romo butt cheek plays, getting out of stuff. Is he still mobile after all these injuries? Or I guess I would have to go back and watch some of his games from last year, because I can't say I watched one Colts game. Yeah. You haven't watched Colts games either, I can tell.
Not really. No, I know he had the ankle injuries last year. Man, I need to look up.
Dude, they were one win away from the playoffs, and he totally sucked the last two games of the season, is what I heard from.
He sacked the last two games. I'm looking up his injury history right now.
But they also said the whole team sucked in those games.
Yeah. All right. Non-NFL. Starting in 2015, hand wrist fracture. Broke his wrist of its throwing hand that required surgery.
That's one.
Chest rib fracture. Suffered a hairline fracture in his ribs against Tampa Bay.
That's two.
2017. ACL tear, grade 3.
3.
LCL tear, grade 3. Same injury.
We count that as one or two? One? Okay, we'll count it as one.
We'll count it as one. It is 2, and the MCL did not tear, but the ACL did.
It happened at the same time. We're counting it as one injury.
Yeah. In the same area, yeah. 2018, back vertebral fracture. He broke his back.
4.
He missed the final 3 games of the year, but avoided surgery.
How do you not have surgery on a broken back?
How did you avoid surgery?
Whoa, what just happened? My Discord just crashed or something.
Uh-oh.
I think it's all right. I think we're good.
Okay, 2019, nothing. 2020, yay! 2020, concussion. Wild card playoff loss. 2021, pedal foot. That just sounds painful, man. Wentz injured his foot during Indianapolis's training camp practice. He missed the remainder of the preseason. September 2021, pedal ankle high sprain, grade 3. He got it in week 2, but he was available for the next game. Man, it seems like he just hobbled around last year, and he just kind of went through all those ankle sprains, and he seemed to do really well, apparently, like we were saying, until the last couple of weeks, but it sounded like he was really starting to hobble at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So it may be something like that. And
I was thinking about this.
I don't know.
How differently would we be looking on this Carson Wentz trade if they would have won one of those last 2 games and they made the playoffs and then we traded for him? We'd be like, he made the playoffs last year. He's a playoff. If that had happened,
he wouldn't have gotten released. Accordingly, allegedly,
he got released for
Jim
2
Irsay,
games, for 2 bad games.
Jim Irsay does not look at him as a leader of men.
Oh yeah, we didn't bring that up, but yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah, it was reported in multiple news outlets that Jim Irsay was really mad at those last 2 games, and he didn't feel like Carson Wentz was like leading the people like a rah kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's not as bad as Jeff George, but he's not a rah kind of guy. Like Chase Young is a rah kind of guy.
Yeah. What was that? All right, what else are we talking about on this app? We were going to have Kenny Ken on, but I think he's still coming home from work, so we might have to have him on the pre-draft special next week.
Right. We'll be talking more about the draft. What we want to pick up at number 11, wide receiver, middle linebacker, wide receiver. This draft is going to be stacked for wide receivers.
Who are the top wide receivers?
Look that up.
I mean, do we really? Looking at our roster, I still haven't given up on DME Brown or Samuel if he can actually play. Like, if you
I think having Carson Wentz back there, I think is actually going to help them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if Samuel can actually get on the field and play, and that Dimey Brown can like do something now in his sophomore season, I mean, I don't know if we need a receiver in the first round. Would you get one anyway?
It depends. I mean, it's stacked. The top 3 guys are Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. I watched Wilson and Olave play for Ohio State. I generally was asleep by the time USC came on.
Yeah, me too.
Getting old, man. Getting old. But, if one of those 3 guys are there, I'd say, yeah, we need one of those guys, especially Olave.
I'm looking at top wide receivers right now. Kyle Hamilton.
Hamilton is really good. I've heard about that guy.
From Notre Dame.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like Golden Tate went to Notre Dame, so,
Yeah.
I don't think Garrett Wilson will be there, and he will be there by number 11. But
this is where Kenny Ken comes in. He studies this stuff religiously.
Yeah. I think Chris Olave seems like he could be really kind of a. He's one of those guys that I think Norv Jr. will love to have.
David Herzing likes quarterback for round 1, receiver and O-line for the rest of the draft. Okay.
Solid. Because there's so many wide receivers. Many wide receiver people in the draft that we could wait until the second round, and we don't have a third round now since we traded that.
So I'm looking
or we could trade back. We could trade back from number 11. Maybe someone's there that someone wants to give us a tasty draft pick to get to. Who knows?
I'm looking at this CBS mock draft from today, and whoever this dude is giving us Chris Olave. Is that how you say it? From Ohio State.
Yeah.
Then we'd have 2 Ohio State dudes as our receivers.
That'd be something.
It says he's the 5th in his position. But then they have Minnesota taking a cornerback second.
Who knows, man?
After us,
Who
the
knows?
second. Yeah, I don't know. This is the stuff that I'm not qualified. I'm not going to pretend I'm qualified to talk about who's the best college guy to get. So anyway, I think what we'll do then is we'll save the draft talk and more free agency news for next time, which isn't going to be next week because I will not be available, but the next week after that. And then
we'll talk about those guys like Hamilton and Hutchinson. Remember watching him a couple of times out there. But like those kind of guys, those guys are going to be off the board way before we ever get a chance to get them. So looking at someone who's like 3rd wide receiver, something like that, might be the way to go.
Yeah.
Who knows? Or if we really like I don't know, that wide receiver or that quarterback from Liberty. I'm forgetting his name.
Willis,
Malik Willis, right?
they're saying the Seahawks are going to probably take
They
it.
might, now that they've traded their man for a plethora of picks. So we'll see. I can't wait to get to the draft at this point. I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
I kind of think we're going to end up like trading back and getting back at least the 3rd round pick or something better than that to move back a few spots in the 1st round.
To make up for one of those Carson Wentz picks, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah.
Anyway, we didn't talk about DeShazer Everett getting cut. He also was charged with involuntary manslaughter. Sad situation there.
Whole thing.
So he was cut. And he's facing those charges. We didn't mention that. Is there any other news that we wanted to talk about from the last month? At this point, it's like I felt like we had so much to talk about. Now I'm like, I don't know what we're going to talk about now.
I'm looking through my notes. I wrote down notes on my little Post-it thing right now because I'm old school.
Post-it notes. Let's see who Danny Kelly from TheRinger.com has us picking. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver. Okay. He's also from Ohio State, dude.
Yeah, I was about to say he's from there as well.
It's that this guy calls him describes him as shades of Odell Beckham Jr. on Red Bull. Okay, that sounds like a player I would
that's
want.
That's another one of those guys. That guy's going to be gone before it comes to us.
On Red Bull.
On Red Bull.
Everyone has Seattle taking Malik Willis as the first quarterback. Gone.
I think he could be a really, really good thing for the coach there. You know, always like coaching everybody up like he's still like doing college, even though he's already 70-something years old. Man.
They're saying that Kenny Pickett is shades of Tony Romo. They have him going to Pittsburgh at 20th.
Kenny Pickett makes Matt Ryan look like he's fat.
Dude, Kenny Pickett makes you look like you're fat.
makes me look like a big bone.
Dude, you're so giant. All right, here, one more of these mock drafts, and then I'm gonna let you guys go and have a nice evening. They're also having us pick a wide receiver, Drake London from USC. So everyone's having us take a wide receiver in most of these mock drafts. So, you know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Apparently there's a lot of receivers. Anyway, should we round it out? Let these guys get some... whatever. Sleep. Family time. Oh, big news from today. I heard that You know what they passed today?
What?
Permanent daylight savings time.
The Senate passed permanent daylight savings time or whatever, or standard time. I don't even know which one it is. I have no idea.
Say this time that we're on now. So it's got to go through and
The Senate passed it. It was like 100%.
yeah. So
Amazing.
they agreed on something. Anyway. Oh, you're not allowed to talk politics here, though. But anyway.
It was 100%. Everybody.
I would like
it's
it to
like
stay
it's like the good old 1980s, early 90s Redskins. Like everybody were button heads, but everybody got together and had a good time at RFK.
on something. Daylight savings.
On daylight savings.
Anyway, on that note, let's round this thing out. Like to give a shout out to everyone in the chat room tonight. Ian28, David Herzing, 3Pete, CJack17, Kenny Ken is now on. Dude, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have it for next time, dude. We just said it, but we're saving all this draft talk for next week. We went through free agency and
2
everything.
weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2.
And it's gonna be on a Tuesday, and hopefully I can live up to that.
Weeks.
Don't lose your notes, Kenny Ken.
Yeah, man. Dude, you'll be good to go, man. You'll be like closer to the draft. We'll be, man. I love the draft.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, give us a ring on the hog line 202-735-1788. Reach us on, join our Discord room if you're not already in there. It's tinyurl.com/HarryHF. And send us an email, hhfpodcast@gmail.com. I think that about rounds it out.
yeah.
All right, dudes, we'll talk to you guys next week. Hail to the Redskins, and if you see a Cowboys fan,
You know what to do.
joke 'em!
Joke him about Randy Gregory.
And take command, Shaney.
Take command. Hashtag take commando.
Take commando.
Take commando.